Yes, guys. Hello. All good things come to those who wait. And I think this is third time lucky. Welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. I'm Gianni, the FPL guy. I'm joined by Dean Jones, Football Insider. Dean, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, mate. Hopefully that's the end of the technical issues. We'll soon find out, I guess. But yeah, all good. Look, mate, Fulham could get promoted to the Premier League tonight, so I could be buzzing in a couple of hours' time. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, so even though we started late, I am shooting off before 8 o'clock because, yeah, I want to see the boys bring it home. We've got Derby away tonight. I'm going to the game on Tuesday. We've got Preston at home, and it looked like that was going to be the game where we'd be clinching our place back in the Premier League. But yeah, it could happen tonight. I'm not sure what I want to happen now. I'm like, yeah, like obviously I was excited about Tuesday, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to see us win promotion, but it's like it'll probably be sealed tonight. But be good once we are back in the Premier League, and I can bring some insight because I'm sure barely anyone knows anything about Fulham and our good players, so that'll be handy at least. But how about you feeling, mate? Because obviously, well, your team just suffered. I don't know how you feel, but how do you feel about it? Because it was an unbelievable performance.
I'm super proud, mate. I don't always look at Chelsea and say I'm a proud fan, but this week I really did. And you know, I never thought we were going to win the Champions League this season. We had our time last year, and City and Liverpool on current form are both better teams than us. So I didn't fancy us to win if we got to the semis or even the finals. So do you know what? I looked at it and was just like, it's okay. We lost. I'm bloody proud of the performance. Like, to a man, Kante had a poor game. Other than that, every player really stepped up and delivered. And look, Kante's got so much credit in the bank. He can have a poor game. That's fine. Guys, loads of you are watching. Thank you for waiting. Do like the channel if you're tuning in. We've got a few likes already, but hoping to build that. And look, obviously, if you're new around here, subscribe. But if you're new, coming up in today's show, we do this every Friday. We've got a bit of fresh off the press chat, looking at some of the news from today. You probably know where we're going there. We do our predicted 11s of some of the big teams. Dean's on Pep Roulette duty. We do a feature called Against the Obvious, where we pick one player each. Now, these are players which I guarantee will be in many of your teams, and we tell you why not to pick them. And then, of course, we do our team reveals all in about the next 30 minutes, okay? So when we're talking about team reveals, this is my latest free hit draft. Now, I've had a few drafts, but with 12-ish hours to go to the deadline, 14, 15 hours to go to the deadline, I'm close. I'm very close. So I look forward to sharing that with you. Dean,
how many hours of work have you put in, mate? How many hours?
You've seen on the WhatsApp groups this week, and like a little insight into an absolute FPL like crazy person, and that's probably me.
Yeah, I mean, I love FPL, but I've realised since starting this show, like, nowhere near your level of dedication, addiction, whatever you call it. Yeah, I think you've spent more on the time on this game week than I have on this season, which you can tell by looking at our league positions in terms of FPL. But I'm not sure I could handle the stress, mate. How are you coping?
Mate, it's terrible. Especially when you're like in the public eye of FPL a lot, I really weighs me down when I'm doing poorly. So this season it's been quite nice because I've been on so many green arrows. But try doing weekly team reveals when your graphics big and like you run a down.
I mean, I guess it's the same as me when I'm putting out a big transfer story, and like when you get one wrong, you know, it haunts you a bit, and people never forget it. I remember when I said that Nicolas Pepe, there was no chance he was joining Arsenal, and I'd got it from a really good source as well, so I was pretty confident in it.
Oh.
And then somehow they've found this like way to pay £72 million over 4 or 5 years, whatever it was. And I never heard the end of it when I was at Bleacher Report from all the people there. You know, never mind the fact that I'd got like loads of other good scoops along the way. It's the ones that you get wrong and when you mess up that people remember. So yeah, I can't even imagine how much pressure you feel to get your team nailed on every week.
Yeah, that was I remember that year well. That was the Zaha. Everyone thought Zaha was going Arsenal, didn't they? And then, yeah, the money for Pepe was huge. FA Cup this weekend, Dean. What are we thinking? I mean, Chelsea to beat Palace, I'm going for. I think that'll be a tighter game than most. And then I'm backing City to edge Liverpool. What are you thinking there?
Honestly, I think Liverpool City will go penalties, and I've got no idea who'll win that. I just think there's nothing between them from what we've seen, so I just presume it goes to pens. Honestly, I've got a feeling Chelsea win like 3-0. I just think Thomas Tuchel, he's played 12 semi-finals as a manager, and he's got to 12 finals. Like, he's going to win it. And I just think that Chelsea have got a much stronger team, like especially no Conor Gallagher playing for Crystal Palace, not available. So yeah, honestly, I think that you'll be okay. Obviously, bouncing back as well from disappointment. They want to get the FA Cup in the bag this season and make sure they end in a high.
Guys, let us know who you think is going to win the FA Cup. Who will be the overall winners? Like I've said, I'm backing City, and I hope Dean's right. I hope this goes to 120 minutes in the City-Liverpool game, because if it does, how does that impact FPL come midweek? Well, probably quite a bit. So Eddie's asked a question about thoughts on Newcastle with Bruno playing so well for Newcastle. He's like a 4.9 midfielder. I think he's had one goal. I think he's had one goal involvement at Newcastle since he's been in the team. He's only recently come into the 11, of course, but he looked really sharp last weekend. Do we think he's a good FPL asset, Dean? I mean, I would look at Chris Wood, and I think Chris Wood's a great shout this weekend. Bruno, box-to-box number 8, a few goal involvements at Lyon, quite a good record. Is he ready yet?
It doesn't seem like it, does he? Because they haven't played him. So it seems like they're just trying to really settle him into the environment. It's very strange to have spent that amount of money when you were at the time trying to fight to stay up and barely play him. But they've been quite smart. And as it stands right now, like, they're not in any danger of going down. So maybe that's why they haven't felt the pressure to play him. I wouldn't really be going down that route right now. Interesting what you say about Chris Wood. I mean, we'll talk about our teams later, but my team currently has Alex Lacazette in it, and we might need to have a rethink on that one in the next few hours. So I'll be getting your advice there.
Yeah, look forward to that. Guys, do get your questions in. This is all about interacting with you guys this stream. We're only with you for the next 20, 30 minutes. We're going to be doing a couple of cool features. We got Fresh Off the Press coming next. We got our predicted 11s. We got Against the Obvious. And of course, our team reveals, which include my free hit. But I think first up, guys, let's check out our first feature of the night, which is Fresh Off the Press. What you got for us, Dean?
Well, I mean, Sean Dyche is the big talking point of the day, isn't it? And it will have an impact on people's teams, because you'll be looking at Burnley assets and now wondering, does things change? Did Sean Dyche have loyalty to certain players that perhaps the guys that come in now, that in interim charge, don't have that loyalty to those players? Perhaps somebody who gets a chance out of nowhere, potentially change formation. I'm not sure what they're going to do exactly, but Sean Dyche has been at Burnley for 10 years. Like, we knew how they played football. We knew players in go-to situations, and now we don't. So
hey team, I think Dean's internet might have gone a little bit funny. So look, I'll pick up on Sean Dyche. Are we expecting new manager bounce at Burnley? New manager bounce? I'm not so sure. The weirdest thing about the decision was it was made today. Like, they lost to Norwich how many days ago? New manager or whoever, Ben Mee, comes in and it's like, you've got a Premier League game tomorrow. Do what you can. So look, are we expecting to see some bounce? Let us know in the chat. I had Cornet in my free hit team last night. Off the back of the news today, I've taken him out. I just don't know what Burnley we're going to get. And I actually thought under Dyche we'd see some fight. against Norwich, Burnley had an expected goals of over 2. Pretty useful. Like Burnley never get an XG of 2+. So I looked at his Dean in Yeovil. Love that comment. So look, I'm thinking we probably just swerve. If you own a Burnley asset, if you own a Weghorst or a Pope, of course you stay with them. But I think you probably avoid them on a free hit, and you definitely avoid them if you're transferring players in. So yeah, that's where we're at, I think, guys. With Burnley, Victor's asked about Tony on a free hit. What do you think of 4 single game week players on a free hit? Do you know what, Victor? I haven't looked once at Tony on my free hit. And look, in 15 minutes time, guys, I'm going to be showing you my free hit draft. And there's only 1 or 2 free single game week players on there. And they don't play for Brentford. They play for Spurs. So, yeah, I think Tony's a great shout this week, not for free hitters. Invest in Arsenal defence. Look, Cedric is 4.2. Yeah, I like it. I mean, if you can go to an Arsenal defender, I think you go at Gabriel. I think he's due a goal. His goal threat is always high. So, yeah, Cedric's not a bad move at all. Nice enabler as well for your bench later in the season. Kane and Lukaku. So Basler's asked, hi guys, Kane and Kulu to Bruno, Captain and Woods. Ooh. I like Bruno, Captain, and I like Wood, not Woods. I like those 2 transfers in. I don't know if I like them at the compromise of Kane and Kulu. Spurs have got good fixtures. They're scoring so many goals. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'd find another way if you could. I wouldn't be selling Harry Kane this week. He's in my free hit team. Here he is. He's back. Hey, Dean.
I think we're cursed tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, I hope that's not I hope that doesn't continue for you past 8 p.m. The curse.
Yeah. If I disappear again, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here. I seem to have full bars, but who knows what's going on here.
There we go. No, all good. We've spoken Dyche, and in the interest of time, we should probably move on to Pep Roulette. The time of the show where we predict our starting 11s, or Dean predicts his starting 11 for a couple of the big teams. The teams we always want to know who's going to play, who's not going to play. So usually, Dean, we pretty much always do Man City and or Liverpool, don't we? But this week's a little bit different for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, the FA Cup message was our scheduling and the teams that we pick. So this week, we're going to just run through likely lineups at Arsenal, Man United and Tottenham and look at some scenarios that we've all got to address over the weekend. I'll start with Arsenal, I think. They seem to be quite an interesting one. The big question, obviously, as I was pointing out earlier, if you could have heard me at the time, was about Lacazette. I've got him in my team. A few have probably got him as well. Looking like he's unlikely, and Nketiah might come in there. And then at left back, does Granit Xhaka go in there again? Well, they've got to address this Kieran Tierney problem, right? And this is what they're doing. They don't seem to have any faith in Tavares right now. I just think that putting Granit Xhaka there affects Arsenal so deeply because he's such a good asset. The combination between him and Partey in the middle of the pitch have been so strong for Arsenal. So not only is Partey not there, they've then taken Xhaka out as well, and they've just fallen apart. And Lokonga and Odegaard just isn't the same. So it'll be interesting. I mean, Arteta's had to defend the situation going into this game. But the only other thing I can see him doing is playing Bukayo Saka there. Now, he's done it before. Saka's played wing-back before. It wouldn't totally surprise me if Saka played there instead of Xhaka, if that is making any sense to anybody. Can he afford to do that? Possibly not. But yeah, the rest of that team, I think, takes care of itself. That left-back situation is a problem. And, basically, Arsenal have 3 big absentees at the moment, and it just shows that this squad isn't deep enough to deal with the problem of this magnitude.
And they're not having to play European football. They've been lucky in a way.
Yeah.
Quoted today, Arteta said, the problem I guarantee, talking about the last result, the problem I guarantee was not Granit playing as fullback. I'm not so sure. I'm with you there, Dean. He's missed in the middle. I wonder if an alternative, we've not seen this yet, is Rob Holding comes in at centre-back.
Yeah.
Ben White goes to right back, where he did play at Brighton a little bit last season, and then Cedric moves to left back. But whatever version we see, and I don't know, managers don't like messing around with their centre back pairings, and holding Gabriel isn't White and Gabriel, so it's a difficult one, but a problem that needs fixing.
Definitely, yeah, and I think this underlines the fact that Arsenal need to go and buy a left back in the summer. I mean, they bought Tavares before, but they need to get somebody else if they can't trust anyone.
Yeah, Praveen's great question. Loads of us have got Saka, myself included.
I've
if
got him,
Lacazette's out, who will be on pens? I mean, Pepe, if he's on the pitch, but he probably won't be on the pitch. I think Odegaard probably takes him ahead of Saka. I think Odegaard might have him ahead of Saka.
Yeah, I think so. Hasn't Smith Rowe taken one as well before?
Possibly. I feel like when Saka took one for England in the Euros, he had never taken a penalty for Arsenal before.
There was something like that. Yeah, you're right. There was some stat like that.
Which was mental. And he was fifth. He was fifth for England.
Ridiculous. Poor lad. Anyway, let's move on. To Man United. Well, again, like, this is huge for United. Obviously, they've got 2 games. This is really addressing the Norwich game more than the Liverpool game. They've got to win it, because otherwise they're probably not getting, Champions League football. At the rate they're going, they're not getting European football. So this is a really, really significant weekend for Man United.
Yeah.
Trying to get information out of the camp at the moment is very weird. It's very strange and difficult because there's so much upheaval. There's not, the kind of leaks that you've heard up to now have come from certain sources that have kind of got a bit closed at the moment. I'm not sure exactly why that is, whether it's anything to do with the fact that Ten Hag is being appointed and they've just tried to close up shop for now. I don't know. But this was the best steer I could get on the team. Tellez left back and Dalot at right back. Pogba and Fred as the kind of holders, and then that 3 of Sancho, Fernandes and Elanga behind Ronaldo. I've got to admit, I haven't got a massive faith in Man United this game week. I can just see them messing up, but I'll talk a bit more about that later on. I think there were a few concerns even among this lot. Someone says, I think Fred is out, and I had heard too, that Fred is a bit touch and go. So this was giving him the benefit of the doubt. So a really tough game week for Man United with this squad, and Norwich have actually got a bit of fire inside them at the moment after picking up a win.
Yeah, I think it looks like an attacking lineup, and I think you're right. It will either be Fred or Matic, but with Pogba in the middle, and then those 3, and I guess it will be Elanga or Rashford, and then Ronaldo. So it's an attacking lineup. Just before we go on to Tottenham very quickly, Dean, pick a captain from that United team for your FPL free hit.
Sancho.
Slim pickings, isn't it?
It's slim pickings, mate. I mean, I guess it would be Ronaldo still, but that's probably because he's on pens, isn't he? Like that's. I don't trust any of them, mate. I really don't. I know we're going to get into your team later. I'm interested to see how many Man United players you've still got in that free hit team. It's a big conundrum for people this week who are free hitting, because a double game week for United, you usually be, no doubt about it, putting 3 in there. But I don't think there's any backup for why you would do that. I mean, the performances, the attitude, the application has been terrible from United. I'm not sure who wants to be there, who wants to stay there. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I'll be picking any of them.
I definitely wouldn't be transferring in United players in my normal team, but for free hit, if I just look at that Norwich game, they allowed Burnley to get an XG of over 2 last week. Norwich, United,
I know,
might just go big.
But United drew with Watford 0-0 a couple of weeks ago. So
but how many big chances did they have in that game? Ben Foster saved everything, didn't he? Let's move on. Let's move on to Spurs.
Yeah, let's move on to Spurs. Again, most of this takes care of itself, really. I guess the big hole is left by Matt Doherty. Giving Emerson Royale benefit of the doubt here that he gets given the chance to basically save his Tottenham career. And if not save his Tottenham career, then earn himself a move elsewhere in the summer. I think the front 3 is the most exciting part of this from an FPL point of view. I mean, Son, Kulusevski and Kane, maybe some people have tried to get all 3 of them into their lineup at the moment to see the season out while they try and chase down full spot. Such an such a brilliant combination, those three, and Spurs are absolutely loving it. I did a story this week, actually, a transfer story for Give Me Sport, who I work for too, and some really interesting stuff coming out of Tottenham. And one of the things that I was reporting is that if they qualify for the Champions League, they're going to push really hard to sign Christian Eriksen and Yuri Tielemans. They really want to bolster up that area of the field. So I found that quite interesting. And they also think they're going to get Sam Johnston too, the West Brom goalkeeper. So
interesting.
Yeah, they're going to really
out of contract, or has he got a 1-year extension?
Yeah, his contract's winding down, so he'll be out of contract. So they could get that one sealed reasonably soon, to be honest. But that's really interesting. There's so much pressure on them to make that fourth spot, because it means one, beating Arsenal to it, obviously beating United to it, but then also giving them that platform again to actually build under Conte and try and do something proper. So yeah, I think Tottenham, I'd be backing them all day long to get a result of the weekend.
Yeah, I like that. Interesting to know about their transfer plans in the summer. And look, if you haven't watched this before, guys, my focus is obviously always FPL. I spend a huge amount of time and effort on my FPL team, and my rank's all right. Dean, yeah, he's an FPL manager in his own right, but he adds a huge amount of value with his transfer news and his insider info with links at Premier League clubs. So watch us every Monday and Friday, and look, certainly as the transfer window draws closer, the season draws to a conclusion, these streams are going to be really useful for your team and for your FPL plans next year, but for your Premier League team mainly. There might be Spurs fans out there going, Tielemans, Eriksen. First I've heard of Tielemans. I like that, him in the Spurs shirt. As Sam says, would be a genuine game changer. What a player. And he's been linked with United a few times in the past. He's definitely not going to be at Leicester, not playing European football. That's
no. Apparently, Brendan Rodgers isn't even that fussed about keeping him, from what I hear. Like I think that Tielemans feels that he should be taking that step up right now, and I think Rodgers is not convinced that he's possibly quite as good as he thinks he is. But to be honest, I'm in Tielemans' camp. I think he's brilliant, but interesting to see how that pans out, and if he does leave, who Leicester would replace him with.
Yeah. Guys, we've got 71 of you watching. Thank you so much. But only a third of you have given us a thumbs up. Come on, guys, hit that like button.
It's probably because of my internet problems and the technical problems, and they're all fed up waiting for us, mate.
It's fair.
Give us the benefit of the doubt. We don't have too many glitches on this show.
Hopefully, we'll get to 1,000 subscribers in the next week as well. We're really close. So help us out on that front as well, guys. Yeah. Punters asked about the goalkeeper to go for this game week. Park that question for my free hit. So in 10 minutes time, punter, we're going to have my free hit team, and you'll see who I'm going for. Coming up next, guys, we've got Against the Obvious. Now, this is a bit of fun. Take this feature with a pinch of salt at times, but of course, there's always a semi-serious element behind it. We give 60 seconds as to why we think you should not pick a very popular FPL asset. So let's see who we've got first up. I think it might be me. No, it's not. It's you, Dean.
Okay, yeah. So Bruno Fernandes, he's going to be a go-to player for so many people in this game week, possibly you included. We'll find out in a minute. But I'm just not convinced by the guy anymore. Look, he used to be nailed on in everybody's team, and that's changed across the course of this season. And I'm looking at it thinking, I can't count on him. Like, even with Norwich at home, I don't believe you can count on Bruno Fernandes scoring points. Man United played Watford in game week 27. He got 3 points in a 0-0 draw. You look across at Bruno Fernandes' output in terms of points across the last 10 game weeks. It's only twice he's got into double figures. One where he got 10 points against Brighton, a 2-0 win. And there was that Leeds game when United won 4-2 and he got 12 points in that game. But that was an absolute farce, that game. It was just end to end. It was open. It doesn't happen like that very often. Look, Fernandes might score one in this game week, but Man United have lost to 2 of the last 4 home Premier League games against sides starting the day bottom of the table. I can see him slipping up, to be honest with you. I just think Bruno Fernandes isn't worth it.
Oh, controversial. All those on free hit are going to be thinking, but I've got him and I'm probably going to captain him. But
mate, I know you are, and I wouldn't normally doubt you. I really wouldn't. Like River says, I can't trust United. I can't trust him. And I definitely can't trust Bruno in the lineup because he's not the old Bruno.
Even against Championship Norwich, though.
Even against Championship Norwich, like I say, like United they don't bury teams like they used to. They just don't do it. Like that, even that win against Spurs recently, which was the thriller, didn't particularly deserve it. 1-1 with Leicester, 0-0 with Watford, 1-0 with Southampton. You go through the results, lost 1-0 to Wolves at home. Honestly, across the last 3 or 4 months, there's just not a lot of evidence for me.
God, I'm going to end up captaining Chris Wood, aren't I? Okay, guys, let us know in the chat. Hanley and Gibson pocket Bruno. I don't know about that. They struggled to pocket J. Rod and Veghorst last week. Let's have a look at who we've got next, because this one's going to be equally, if not more so, than controversial as Bruno. I'm going to give you 60 seconds as to why, guys. You don't go Mo Salah this week. Wow, Mo Salah. Why no Mo? Well, I just look at it and think this is the week, especially if you've got a wild card or a free hit. If you've got a wild card, you're using it next week. You dead end your team. You replace Salah for 1 week only. You're bringing a Man United midfielder, possibly Bruno. If you're on a free hit, I don't think you go Salah. I think you just fill your team with a double game week players. And if you go for a single game week player, I don't think it's Salah. I think you look at Spurs when you go there. But look, Mo Salah hasn't been scoring goals for fun, has he? Last 3 Premier League games, hasn't scored. Did he score in either game against Atletico Madrid? I don't think so. Came off the bench. The rumours that he even had a little knock. I think, of course, he starts the FA Cup semi-final, but that semi-final against Man City could quite easily go to 120 minutes. Now, of course, he starts the league game against Man United. Of course he does. It's Mo Salah. But how tired will he be? Will he have joy against Alex Telles and Maguire? Arguably, yes. We know what he did earlier on in the season, but I just think this is the week you can actually go against him. I don't think you captain him anyway. Invest in someone playing twice. Wow, if that goes wrong for me, 57% of the game own him. In the top 10K, he's pretty much got 100% ownership. There will be some that captain him. His effective ownership will be sky high. And if he bangs, I could really, really lose out. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to go there. Although I will be tinkering tonight. I just can't squeeze him in.
I mean, his highest haul of the season came against Man United. He got 24 points the last time that they played each other. Liverpool won 5-0. United not showing that won't happen again, to be honest, are they? This time it's going to be at Anfield. I can easily see that being 3 or 4-0.
Against Telles and Maguire as well. You'd rather Luke Shaw on the pitch. Telles he could have a real go, couldn't he?
He really could, yeah. It's a gamble. Maybe you're hoping he gets injured against Man City. I don't know. But you're right. Like, in terms of, like, I guess if it's a free hit, I can see why you would do that. Like, if he was already in your team, you're not really going to ditch him for this moment, because then you've got to try and bring him back in again. Yeah, it's interesting, mate. It's definitely a gamble. No wonder you got sleepless nights at the moment.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And my biggest nightmare of the season so far was that game week 9. Salah got 24 points. I didn't captain him. I captained Havertz, who blanked. Guys, do not sell Salah from your normal team because I told you to. I'm absolutely not saying you should do that. I think if you're on a free hit, though, or if you're wildcarding next week, you could go without him this week.
Oh, my days. Someone's saying, I've sold Salah for Bruno.
Oh, bold. I am 1974. And look, it gives you a genuine captaincy option if you're bringing a United player, because you back the minutes and you back the 180. I don't think many are going to back Salah as captaincy. So look, I don't mind that move. I am 1974, but I'd probably want to reverse it straight away after.
Nicholas against the obvious this week. He doesn't like it at all. He's having none of it. We have not convinced him. Neither very convincing. Salah or Bruno? Yeah, if you had to pick one. So if you had to pick Salah or Bruno, you would pick Bruno.
Yeah, for this week only, Bruno.
Yeah.
I just love that Norwich fixture. I just think it's got so much potential. And look, you wouldn't put it past Bruno or Ronaldo or Sancho to get a goal at Anfield. So I just back the minutes. Just going 1/8, all about the minutes, me. And look, I was asked earlier in the week if I'm a form or fixtures type of FPL manager. And look, the answer is you're a bit of both. But I think, looking back, I'm a fixtures manager. And I think I did the same with Havertz a few weeks back. He wasn't scoring and I captained him in a double game week. And one of those games was Norwich. I just like to target the really weak teams if I can. United got no form, but they do have the fixture. So, yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, James 98 said he'd rather go Maddison than Bruno. It's not a bad shout. I mean, Maddison is definitely playing himself into some good form at the moment. I can see some logic behind that one. Fair enough.
Yeah.
3
double game weeks to come, Maddison, as well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
On a free hit, though, I just look at Maddison. I'd be very surprised if he started both this week. But for season long, I prefer Maddison to Bruno.
Yeah, totally. That's the thing. That's the difference maker, isn't it? It depends whether you're talking about a free hit or is this your team for the next 7 weeks.
Yeah. Shall we have a look next at our teams with our team reveals? I love that little awkward silence that
as we wait for it. I mean, it says team reveal. I mean, I'm not sure this is actually my team reveal because I've got to make a change. You know, the news about Lacazette means can't really keep him in. Who do I replace him with? Chris Wood?
I was just about to say, I think this team could do with a Newcastle player. They got a brilliant double game week. Both their opponents, guys, in the double game week this week are Leicester coming back from Eindhoven and Palace off the back of an FA Cup semi-final. Like, and they're both at St James's Park. And then they could play Norwich next week. Like, Newcastle, for me, I think if you're on a free hit, you go triple. If you don't have any, like Dean, I think you bring one in and go at the back, go share, or you go Chris Wood up top.
Yeah, well, this is my. Do I start Rudiger or do I start Amate? Like,
and Roberts was dropped for the Norwich game, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But again, Sean Dyche isn't there now, so who knows?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much if he doesn't play then. But Amate will probably play both, won't he? So, yeah, look, how Brozier is still in this squad, I do not know. Like, that's even surprised me, and I'm picking this team every week. It's an awful front three. It's horrendous. They're all out of form.
Yeah, they are. But
they could play for all week and not score between them.
I don't know what's happened to Calvert-Lewin. You could sell any. I think
I'm honestly kind of counting on the fact that they are all due a goal. Like, that's the only thing I can say at this point.
Well, in other news, the midfield's good. So it's definitely the midfield's set. The
midfield is fine. Yeah,
definitely make a transfer up top. I think you keep Broja because I think he starts one, and if he plays well against Arsenal, he starts.
Yeah, exactly. Game. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Chris Wood for either of those two.
Yeah, I'll probably do Lacazette. I think so.
Would you captain Chris Wood knowing he's got 2 nice fixtures but rarely scores? Or
yeah, I mean that'll be the toss up, really, won't it? Yeah, I mean I have had Wood in the background. I'm always like Lucas said, is even doubt captain Salah, and I totally in that camp. I very rarely stray from him because whenever I do, it burns me. And in my mini league, it's getting a bit dodgy now. I'm definitely falling, and I don't want to end up paying for a curry for all my mates. So, not going to be taking that gamble. I don't think it's a different. I don't know. It's a risk, isn't it? Because Wood could make me up a lot of points if he does score in those games. But ultimately, I genuinely think Salah could score a hat-trick against Man United. It would not surprise me at all, and I can't miss out on those points. The 24 points from earlier in the season is there in my mind, and I'll probably stick with Salah.
God, I'm getting scared already. I am getting scared. Let's have a look at my team.
Yeah, let's go for it.
We can see my no Salah draft here, and look, I've been making drafts all week, and I must admit I've struggled to get Salah in any of them. But it's at the it's to go big on United.
Sancho in now, nice.
I've gone triple United now, yeah. As well as captaincy, it's almost like quadruple United.
That's all right.
Do you know, I did have Maddison in that slot, and after seeing Mads play yesterday, and I thought he was really good, but Leicester just looked shattered by the end, and I just think a lot that knowing they're now in the competition, they've got more European games to come. I'd be very surprised if he started both games. I think he'll probably be rested against Newcastle, and then Everton at Goodison's a tricky game anyway. So that midfielder slot is difficult. That Sancho position has been Cornet, it has been Ward-Prowse. I've been moving it around a lot. If I did go someone like Cornet or Ward-Prowse, I can then boost Cedric up to a Cancelo, for example. So as it stands, I've got 2 single game week players, both Spurs attackers. All week, that has been 3. I have had Cancelo in there as well. The other big question is, do I go Kane or Salah? Son is set. I'm 100% going Son this week. Am I backing Spurs to go big against Brighton or not? At the
Yes.
moment, yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Even with Brighton doing so well at the Emirates last week?
Yeah, honestly, I do. I think it could be a 3 or 4. I
I
think
do as
Spurs.
well. I
I
do as
just get the
well.
feeling that Spurs, like, it's hard because every team that's got started to make that full spot their own has then completely dropped off. You know, Man United did it, Arsenal have done it, West Ham did it, and now Tottenham are there. I've got a feeling that they won't. I
Yeah.
think that despite the pattern saying that, well, you can't trust anybody that is in that full spot, I just feel like Conte is not going to let this lot drop off. And Son and Kane and Kulusevski are looking so sharp, and the combinations and the understanding between them is just so strong. Yeah, I would stick with Son and Kane.
Yeah, I think I will. I will be tinkering, but look, there's many guys on here that are set, and I'll tell you in just a moment the ones that are absolutely locked in my free hit team, right? But before I do, I just want to let you guys know, and thank you all for watching and supporting the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. But we do these streams every Monday and every Friday at 7 p.m. And the reason we do them is to interact with you guys. So of course it's dedicated FPL chat with a bit of footballer insider info from Dean as well, with all of his great contacts at Premier League clubs. But we do it to interact with you. So get your questions in. We'll answer them when we can, as many as we can. No super chats around here. We're asking your questions. So Tellez, for example, as Sensor Sahin has said. And look, Tellez has been in a few drafts. Like Luke Shaw isn't coming back. We know he's out for at least another 4 weeks. Tellez is on set pieces. It could be Tellez, it could be Sancho. It might still be Tellez. And I'll go through the positions that are absolutely locked, and you'll see that one defender slot in that Cedric role is still open. And it might become Tellez, but I think I'm set on Sancho. I'm set on the 2 Newcastle defenders. That could become Shah and Dubravka, or Target and Dubravka, but definitely double Newcastle. I'm set on Saka. I'm set on Bruno. I'm set on Son. I'm set on Wood. I'm set on Ronaldo. So there's 1 or 2 slots. Harry Kane could become Salah. Cedric could become Cancelo or Tellez. Schmeichel could become Dubravka. I even considered De Gea for save points against Liverpool, but I'm not sure he gets them. John's asked about Burn over Target. Definitely more goal threat, but with Ryan Fraser not in the team, John, Target's on even more set pieces. So I think I'll go Target. I think he's worth a little bit extra investment. I don't think Dan Burn has scored since he's been at Newcastle. I know it's not a huge amount of games, we don't expect him to score, but Shah's the bigger goal threat.
Yeah, definitely. Yusuf says, Gianni, you're neglecting a fresh City team v Brighton, who were playing Spurs 3 days before, but City won't be fresh, will they?
No, they might be heavily rotated as well. Like, we can't predict that City lineup until we see the lineup in the FA Cup. So Yusuf, of course, Spurs play Brighton after their FA Cup, where they might go 120 minutes. I just don't. If I knew Mahrez was going to start against Brighton, I'd probably chuck him in. But we don't.
That's the thing. Like, it's too much of a gamble when teams have got FA Cup matches to consider. Like, you really don't know how it's going to play out. And maybe a few people are. If you were just looking at the FPL app and you're looking at the fixtures, maybe you're forgetting that Man City are actually playing this weekend. But I don't know. Yeah, I like it, mate. I honestly don't think you've got too much to worry about. I know you're gonna stress over Salah and stuff, but like, you've got enough in that team. It's incredible that you've actually, someone said actually, to have got those Fernandes, Kane, Ronaldo, Son pieces in there and still made a strong team around it is pretty impressive. But I guess that's because you had a stronger bank balance than most would have.
Yeah, I have been accumulating those pennies with our early midweek transfers when needed. And look, the likes of Cedric's 4.2, like, that's a gift. You get a starting Arsenal fullback who will probably play both games. So yeah, there we go. Guys, we've got loads of questions. Going to give some quick fire answers. Is Cedric a risk? No, I don't think so. Remember, if Tavares comes in at left back, Cedric's still at right back. One for you, Dean, do you think James Ward-Prowse a good option this week? It's slow and steady returns, but the set piece threat is so good with Ward-Prowse.
Arsenal and Burnley, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's a good option. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If there's ever going to look towards Southampton option, I look to. The only thing I wonder is what on earth Southampton are playing for at the moment, and if they are even playing at times. Like, they've put in some bizarre performances in the last couple. So don't trust the team. But if I was to pick one, even though I've got Brozier, maybe I'd pick Ward-Prowse. Yeah.
I'd pick Ward-Prowse, and if not, I would go Shea Adams. I think we had a question about Shea Adams a minute ago. His expected goals has been really high, considerably better than Woods. Why I'm veering towards Wood is the 2 home fixtures and some decent form. I think Eddie Howe's won 4 of 6 at St James's Park. And I like the opponents being tired. Leicester Palace will both be tired. So for me, Wood over Adams. But if you can get both, then I don't think it's a bad move. I think Adams is due, as we say. Loads of questions about Maddison coming in. We'll get to them in a sec. Tan Boone has asked, differential captain for the week. I'm going to say differential captain is a United. Seems like a United player. But if you want to go really rogue, I think Chris Wood is genuinely a captain option this week. He'll get 180 minutes. So you're starting on 4 points, double to 8. 1 attacking return, and he probably gets bonus. If he scores 1 goal, he gets bonus. So you're looking at sort of 12 points plus as a sort of base level if he gets, that 1 tapping goal, which I think he can get.
Yeah, no, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. I've literally just slotted Chris Wood into my team as we're talking. I've just done the transfer. He's in.
Nice.
He's in.
Good man.
He's in.
Nuclear Adams said about captaining Saka. Nuclear, don't captain Maddison because he won't start both games. I'd be so shocked if he starts both games. He's not had a rest at all recently. He's played like last 4 or 5. They're playing twice a week. Would you captain Saka, Dean?
No, I wouldn't. No, I haven't been that impressed by him recently, to be honest. Like, I've still got him in there because he's good and I already had him in the team and I don't want to lose him. But the Southampton game, fine. The Chelsea game, not really expecting too much from him in that one. So I wouldn't captain him. I think there are better options.
James has asked about Alan St. Max and Mount next week, or Wood and Havertz next week. I would try and get Wood this week. Don't be but Wood next week doesn't have any doubles left. And yes, he has Norwich. Try and get him this week if you can. And then from next week onwards, Chelsea are very likely, could double. If Chelsea beat Crystal Palace, there's a very good chance game week 34 becomes a double for United. I think they'd have Arsenal and Chelsea have a double of United and someone else. So if Chelsea beat Palace, they will double in 34, and therefore you want to jump on a midfielder. I'd go Havertz over Mount, Dean. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I did that 2 weeks ago, and then Mount scored twice, so that annoyed me. But yeah, I have Havertz, and I think that when you're looking at it across the course of the season, like Havertz is Chelsea's number 9. And looks like he's going to continue that way as well. I think Lukaku will leave in the summer, so looks like Havertz will be the number 9. I've been impressed by Timo Werner though. He's had really picked things up last 2 games, hasn't he?
He's actually looked okay in front of goal, even though he hit the woodwork 3 times at St Mary's. It's amazing when Werner plays well. He just stretches the pitch. It's so good for the likes of Mount. Gives Mount so much space. Gives Havertz so much space. Dean, do you think Liverpool will sign another player in the summer? They won't sign anyone in the attacking 3, will they, Dean? They've now got so much strength in depth.
Well, I think they are. I think they're finding one of our Fulham players, Fabio Carvalho. So I don't know exactly where they're planning to fit him in because Fabio Carvalho plays number 10 for Fulham and Liverpool don't play with anyone in that position. So I guess he'll play off one of the flanks when he does play. I don't know if they plan to put him into the first team. He's brilliant. Like, I'm gutted he's going to be leaving us. I hope they've got a good pathway for him because I don't see him being good enough for that team right now. Like, they're trying to find a room for Diaz and Jota and Firmino, and they can't. So, and it's Harvey Elliott still knocking on the door too, and he's probably another ex-Fulham player that's further along the line than Fabio is. But I think they'll sign a couple as well. Yeah, I don't think it'll be anything majorly significant, although they keep being linked with central midfielders, which is quite interesting. So I'd keep an eye on that.
Yeah, we mentioned Tielemans earlier. He'd seem to be a good fit, but there'll be a lot of competition.
Yeah, apparently he's only going to be about 30 million as well. They reckon you could get Tielemans that because his contract's now winding down. He's got 1 year left. Like, that could be a really good buy. I
think they paid more, didn't they? Leicester, they paid huge.
He was like 50 million last year, like being touted around, but now they're just not going to get that sort of money for him.
Do you think Chelsea will still go for Jules Koundé? There was a lot of talk, obviously, last summer that they would wait a year. He's perfect in the back 3 system, the right centre back. Chelsea are going to need a centre back.
Yeah, I'm amazed it hasn't even been agreed yet, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it will happen, yeah. Obviously, Christensen's going to Barcelona. Rudiger still likely to leave, but waiting to see what happens with the takeover and if they offer him a huge amount of money to stay, which probably will, to be honest. But yeah, I think Jules Koundé has a very good chance he comes in.
Cool. I think we've got one more question. from a new subscriber, James. And guys, do give us a subscribe. If you're watching, you haven't subscribed, please do. You get the notifications. We go live every Monday and Friday at 7. Just subscribe. What a gem of a channel. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Yusuf has asked about Burnley assets. We see managerial bounce a lot, but usually we see managerial bounce when it's like a manager that's got a bit of pedigree or a bit of history, come in, had a week on the training ground. Burnley have given someone the reins 24 hours before a game. Are we expecting managerial bounce? Could Maxwell Cornet be a great differential this week? He was in my free hit draft last night. He's not now.
Well, the interim boss is the under-23 coach, Mike Jackson, who will be assisted by captain Ben Mee, academy director Paul Jenkins, under-23's goalkeeping coach Connor King. Why?
It's mental.
Like, I mean, has Dyche really upset someone or something? Because that really does seem left field. If that's what they're going with to keep them in the Premier League, then that's pretty bizarre. And if they've all it sounds like they all just know about the younger Burnley players. Like, apart from Ben Mee, there's not really any attachment there to this current first team. So it's very strange.
They're only 4 points off Everton. Only 4 points off Everton. 24 points Burnley, 28 points Everton. Everton have got the harder run in. They're playing West Ham, who could be very tired. Then they welcome Southampton, who have been out of form, to Turf Moor. 2 winnable games there. I don't mind Cornet as a shout. And if you've got Weghorst, you probably keep him, but don't expect much. But yeah, it's I was looking at Cornet. I don't think I am now. Probably hold.
Probably not worth it.
Should we go to our comment of the stream? Let's finish off with comment of the stream. Who's going to get comment of the stream? I still have Pope. Nuclear atoms. I don't know if Nick Pope has Pope. Hope.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you do, Nuclear. Do you genuinely still have him? You probably do. He's not a bad shout. He gets the save points at least.
No, exactly. Yeah. Still no hope though. Might have Pope, but still no hope.
Oh, well done, Nuclear Ams. On that note, guys, thank you all for watching. Just before you go, do us a favor. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe if you can. But also, guys, when this video is posted, we don't see the chat. So when I go back and go, I want to see all the lovely comments or the comments where we perhaps get some suggestions for how we improve the stream, I don't see them in the chat. I do see them if you actually comment on the video in the actual comment section. So please do go ahead and leave a comment with your thoughts, like features you like, things you would like to change about the channel. Any suggestions, we are very welcome. We are here for you guys. But without further ado, Dean, I'm going to say good night to you, knowing you've got a very big football match coming up in about 90 seconds' time.
Yeah, hopefully in about 90 minutes' time, Fulham will be promoted to the Premier League. So fingers crossed for me.
Love that. Good luck this game week, guys. Whether you're taking a 4-point hit, whether you're on a free hit or you're dead-ended into a wild card, I think it's going to be a good one. See you later, guys.